Hey, everybody, and welcome to the 5th episode of Cup of Joe. Today we have a special treat. We are filming from the lovely Newport, Rhode Island, home of the 2024 Difference Card Growth Conference. And we have a special treat. I'm joined by Joe Lawler of USI Insurance Services, who is this year's keynote speaker and will be taking the stage in only a few minutes now. But I thought I'd grab Joe prior to him going on stage to ask him a few questions. Joe, welcome to Cup of Joe.
Thanks, Joe. Great to be here. Thank you.
All right, so to kick off this conversation, I'd love for you to share with the audience just how you got introduced to the Difference Card.
A number of years ago, I was working with a smaller agency, and we had this young lady approach us with a strategy that I'd never heard of before, and I'd been in the business a good bit of time by that introduction, and she told us how this program could save our clients money and give them insight into their plan. And so we looked at it for a while and kicked the tires a little bit and finally started to implement it. But one of the things that's included in your presentation is a 5-year projection of savings. And I remember saying to Ashley Doobie, I said, I am not showing a 5-year projection of savings. I don't know if this thing can work, and I'm not gonna show that to clients and tell them that's what's gonna happen. Fast forward, a number of years later, I go back, all of those savings were met. All of those projections were met. So now I do include it.
Yeah, I love that. And I think about the market that we serve, the 25 to 500 fully insured market. And oftentimes there's lack of options for those groups, a lot of challenges that those groups face. How do you view that 50 to 250 life customer in the New England market?
You're correct. There are few options, and the carriers are pretty rigid about what they'll offer. That's what makes, I think, the Difference Card more attractive, because you have a level of customization that you can't get from the carriers. And I know a lot of states are different. In Massachusetts, it's really challenging to get any claim data from carriers if it's less than 100 lives. And when you have the Difference Card, you get insight into utilization and claims that, frankly, you can't get anywhere else.
Yeah, no, I think you're spot on there. And that segues into my next question is, I think about USI, top-tier brokerage firm, nationwide, and you have access to literally all of the point solutions, infinite amount of point solutions out there and vendors to bring into your customer, yet you choose year after year to bring in the Difference Card. What makes us, quote unquote, different?
Again, that in that particular market, there aren't as many options as one would like. We're agnostic with our clients. Frankly, we don't have preferences that much, but we do know what works. And what we've found is that the Difference Card, when it's implemented and properly communicated, which is a key point, it has to be really clearly communicated both to the employees and to the management team, then that delivers something that nobody else can. It's for people who maybe don't have the risk tolerance to go to a self-funded plan where you do have clear insight into the cost for your plan, this is a way to do it.
Right.
One of the things about the market we're in, at least, and in that size segment, is a lot of times we're delivering a renewal to an employer and they don't know if it's a bargain or if they're getting the carrier sticking it to them.
Yep.
With the Difference Card, with the insight you have with the utilization, you at least will have a sense for whether the plan's running hot or not. And it gives a level of assurance to employers that we're bringing them the right solutions.
Love that. And our audience typically, we have brokers and consultants from all across the country. I think our last episode was viewed in something like 40 states. You're in the New England market.
Right.
Is there anything that, the brokers tuning in from the Midwest or the South or the West Coast might find interesting about your market in particular in the New England?
One of the things that's different about New England is that we don't really have managed care per se. Any provider that wants to be in a network and will agree to the contracts, they're allowed in the network. So it's not uncommon when we're offering an HMO, for example, to a client, that 90 or 95% of the providers in the geographic area are in-network providers.
Wow.
So HMOs in New England are very popular. New England has the highest percentage, highest per capita utilization of HMOs in the country because they're not a step down. I know in certain parts of the country, if you go into an HMO, it's a step down from a PPO.
Yep.
That's not the way it is in New England. And so when you're able to have when all the carriers are sort of alike in terms of their network, you have to find a different way to a way to differentiate, and the difference card helps us do that.
Thank you. All right, so we're coming to a close here. You are at the Difference Card Growth Conference. You're about to step on stage in a few minutes in front of 50 plus Difference Card sales and revenue folks. No pressure. What's one thing that you hope that the audience takes away from your talk today?
I hope this doesn't get cut from the reel, but the Difference Card fixed costs tend to be high.
Yeah.
And people look at that. I looked at it when I first saw it, and I thought, my stars, you're high. And what we've found is that if you look at the whole solution, you look at the total package, that even though the fixed costs are high, the delivery of service and the delivery of a lower overall cost is more beneficial to our clients. And so I guess my comment to Difference Card folks and to brokers across the country, you can focus on the fixed costs or you can focus on the overall costs. My clients look at the overall cost. You can get lower fixed costs, but if your total costs are higher, are you really coming out ahead? So yeah, I think you have to recognize that up front, but as long as you continue to deliver the lower overall cost, I think that it can be compelling.
I love that. We might have to take you on the road with us, Joe. Well, with that, this is a wrap for the 5th episode of Cup of Joe. Thanks again to Joe Lawler for joining us.
My pleasure, Joe. Thank you.
And good luck in your presentation.
Thank you.